my name's Darren Evans from Ecological. If you're looking for a way to easily and inexpensively restyle your pickup truck by restyling the standard equipment bumper, you're watching the right video. Today we're going to talk about how to install BumperShellz, which are high-impact ABS formed covers for your truck bumper. These are great not only for adding maybe a different color to your truck, cover up the chrome. They're great for maybe covering a little bit of damage that may be existing on your bumper, damage by dents, dings, rust, whatever, or even just to protect your bumper from road debris and salt, snow, you know the drill. Anyways, I'm going to show you today just how easy they are to install. You need just a few very simple tools to accomplish this task. First thing you're going to need to do is make sure that your bumper is nice and clean and dry. That's because we need to make sure that there's a good surface to adhere the 3M adhesive tape that's on the back side of your BumperShellz to make sure that your BumperShellz are nice and secure. So first thing that we're going to do is just clean up this bumper a little bit, and then we'll be right back. Okay, now that I've got the bumper nice and clean and dry, what we need to do is take off a few of the pieces of trim, that being the license plate lights, the license plate, and this center step pad trim. Luckily, we've designed the BumperShellz so that you shouldn't have to remove the upper step pad trim, and you'll see why in a moment. So, like I said, easily take off the license plate lamps by just unscrewing the phillips screw, pulling the housing out, and then you'll see the lamp housing just needs to be twisted relative to the outside housing. That comes off easy. Set those aside, and then maybe just tuck these in so that you can grab those later. The next thing is we'll remove the license plate. Easy enough. And now to remove this center step pad trim, you'll need to just gently pry off these little square covers. Like that. I use just a flathead screwdriver. Once you get an edge underneath, they should be easy just to pop up. Just be careful you don't damage them. Now this is retained two ways. One is by some what are called like push pin clips from the top, and then from the bottom there are 10mm screws that we'll have to take out. Now these push pins, you need to kind of pry up the top cap and then pry them out like that. They don't always come out that easy. There is a chance you could damage them getting them out, but they're very inexpensive. Just pick up a new set at your local auto parts store. We'll get the next one out. Again, you pry up the center part and then pull the housing out. I'll remove the two screws underneath, and just with your 10mm socket. There's two. Now to remove the trim, you just need to kind of flex it up a little bit. Should come right off just like that. Your BumperShellz are constrained to your bumper by two primary means. The first is this flange. There's a flange around the top here that will basically tuck under this existing step pad trim. And then additional constraint is by a high strength adhesive acrylic foam tape. Now these are pressure sensitive tapes, so they won't be extremely sticky to the touch to begin with. But once you put pressure on them, and that's important to get good adhesion, to put a lot of pressure on those taped areas to make sure that they fully adhere to your bumper. You might need a little tool like a plastic trim tool or something, like a putty knife with a little bit of tape on it to protect the edges from scratching your bumper. Maybe even an old credit card, maybe a good use for a credit card. So you just need to kind of get the edge started underneath the trim, and you'll see it'll slide up in and in easily like that. Now I would suggest that the first time you do it, you don't take the backing off of the foam tape. We're going to do what's called a dry fit, just so you can kind of see how everything works before you get into having to work with the foam tape. So I'll show you how it goes on before taking the tape off, and then we'll do it again with the film of the tape, film backing on the tape off. Okay, so I usually start just right here at the inboard side. You can see it's pretty easy just to slide in. I don't even need my tool, but just so I can kind of show you the technique, you can get the tool underneath your step pad trim, a couple of areas, just to help get it started. That. Then around here, the corner. Just get the top going underneath the trim. There. And you'll want to kind of pull it this way. So kind of out and up in order to get the kind of corner flange covered. Okay, so that's how it should look, and you saw how easy that is. Now, once we take that tape off, or the backing of the tape off, you'll want to make sure that it's in the right position before you put much pressure on your bumper shell. That right position is basically by pushing in this corner. We want this corner to be flush this way and that way. You can kind of feel that. And it should be that your license plate lamp hole lines up nicely like that. So you're basically making sure that that corner is nice and snug, and that will make sure that the rest of the bumper shell is in the right spot. Okay, so now we'll do that again, but with the tape off. Okay, this time we're going to do it for real, but the only piece of tape backing that I would take off now would be this one right here by the license plate area. So again, just kind of start in this area, being careful that that doesn't touch down first. Just want to slide this up and in. That. Get it aligned. Use your tool if necessary to just kind of pry that up a little bit, kind of like a shoehorn. Okay. Now that that's relatively in the right position, now I want to, again, push in this corner, make sure everything's nice and flush, and then you can put some pressure on that piece of tape there. Okay. Next thing you want to do is reconnect your license plate lamps. These are handed, so you have to get the right one for the appropriate side. Reach in, don't forget to reconnect your light, grab that, and again it's just a simple twist of the housing. Okay, get that in the proper position. Screw that in. Reason why I assembled this first and put that tape on, because that'll kind of keep this in the right position for our next step. Next thing I'm going to do is install the other side, basically using the same process. Okay, so I've taken a moment just to install the other side. Again, just kind of this center area. I haven't really finished up the corners yet. It's because I want to get this area completed first. So now we're ready to reinstall your center step pad trim. These little tabs here help you align it. about the center. And again, just kind of rotate it into place. You'll see it's fairly straightforward. Make sure those tabs go underneath the bumper. Okay. Now, because we have added a little bit of thickness with our bumper shell, this fit is going to be a little bit tighter, so you'll have to use just a little bit of force to get the holes to align. So you push on this center portion and then put this retaining clip down into the hole. So push on it with one hand, get that hole aligned. Stuff it in there. Then push the retaining clip in until it snaps. That side's in. Then do the same to the opposite side. Again, you have to put some force on it, get the hole to align. Push the retaining clip down in and secure it with the center little button thing. So that's on. Now put my little covers back on. And then my 10mm screws that I have to put back in the bottom. Okay, now that those are secure, we'll go around the corners and we'll secure the tape in those areas. Okay, so you can see that I've kind of left this side hanging out a little bit. That's because I need to be able to access the tape backing. This one here on the corner. So I'll take that off. And then there's two on the bottom, a little short one, and one towards the middle, underneath. Okay. So again, I'm being careful not to let those touch until I've got the bumper shell completely in position. So I kind of grab it here from the bottom, make sure we're tucked in at the top there. You might need to use your trim tool a little bit right in that corner just to get that started. You can see it kind of sucked in, and now I want to just pull it from the center outboard and up, because I want this area here tucked nicely up into the step pad. So you can see it kind of rotate there. Once that is in place and you can see that the flange of the corner is completely covered, you feel good about that position, then you want to put some good pressure, kind of a rolling pressure on that pressure sensitive tape. That's very important to get good pressure on that tape for it to adhere well. The other thing that's important is the temperature outside should be at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit when you do this. If not, maybe you can kind of warm up the area a little bit with a hair dryer or something like that. Bring it inside the garage. But the tape supplier really recommends for good adhesion, the temperature should be at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so again, good pressure there, good pressure on the strips underneath. That side's done. Let's go to the other. Okay, so I've just about got the license plate installed, which is our second to last step here. Nice and snug. The last step is to step back and take a look at your restyled bumper. This one that we covered, we actually converted a chrome bumper that had a little ding on it on this side, a little bit of rust on the corners, and now we've got a nice tough shells, very durable cover on your Tacoma.